Welcome! Was searching for ideas of where to start reviewing and immediately thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have been a staple for me personally so long, and especially with the new 2014 movie coming out and the respective toy line that's released, it made perfect sense to take a look back at how they originally appeared in the 1984 Mirage comic. And here we have the Turtles represented by the 2008 black and white release by NECA Toys. Here they are, they're nicely displayed in the box. There's some nice art in the background. They're displayed next to their weapons, which helps out figure out who is who. Here's some more cool looking artwork from the graphic novel. I do believe that's the original font from the Mirage comics, and here's a little shot of them as baby turtles next to the TCRI bottle of ooze. Here we got the back of the box. There's some more art printed from the Mirage comics. They're on the side. Here in the middle we got a brief description from NECA about the figures. And over here we got a nice shot of the turtles posed with their weapons. On the bottom of the box we got the credits of the people involved. Randy Falk will be a name recognizable to fans of the NECA toy line. Also notable is the Four Horsemen. They're known throughout the toy community as great sculptors, and of course Peter Laird, one of the original creators of the Ninja Turtles. Now on the side of the box we got some more art from the Mirage comic book. This one I particularly like. It's the turtles escaping into the sewer after beating the purple dragons in the first scene of the very first comic book. And more comic book art here on the inner lining of the box. We got Raphael's sai, Michelangelo's nunchucks, Leonardo's katana, and Donatello's bow staff. Here we have a shot of the four turtles posed and arranged with their weapons in hand. They all have pretty good balance. Their large feet give them a good base to stand on. I really like the nice contrast of the white paint and black line work. It really helps capture the look of the comic as if they were pulled straight from the page, and they all roughly stand at 5.5 inches. Here's our fearless leader of the group, Leonardo. Here's a nice turnaround of the figure. You can check out the sculpt and paint apps. At first glance, it might seem the turtles all have the same head, but they do have each of their own individual expressions. Here Leonardo looks determined, as one would expect. And on the back, we got the sword sheaths. They really give off that comic book style detailing aesthetic. And the katana blades here. Out of all the Leonardos that have been released, I really like these. They really come off as unique. And the articulation is the same across the board for the four turtles. There's movement at the neck and the base of the skull. There's shoulder, bicep, and elbow articulation. There's swivel and hinges at the wrist. There's a slight ab crunch and a waist swivel, as well as hips. They are on a ball joint. We got the double jointed knees, and hinged ankle with a slight pivot. Donatello, the master of the bow staff and manipulator machines. Here's a nice turnaround of him, and his expression is very calm and inquisitive, very fitting for the techie tinkerer who knows how to dismantle his foes. Again, the paint apps are awesome. I'm really impressed with the shells of these guys' back. Again, really capturing that comic book aesthetic. Interesting thing about Donnie's bow, it does come out part at the middle because it is flared at the ends. This really makes it easy to get fitted into his hands, and especially for those two-handed grip poses. And that's our Donatello. Our cool but rude dude Raphael. Here's a nice turnaround of his sculpt and paint apps again. Though subtle, his eyes are much angrier than his brethren, and up close you can really feel all that pent-up rage Raph is known for. There's a nice rendition of his sides. You can even fit them in between his fingers for that forward pointing hold, or the backwards grip shown here. Seems to be a bit of a QC issue on mine, a little bit melting on the belt, but that's okay with me. Here again, that awesome deco of the shell here, and that is our man Raph. And lastly, of the Fab Four, we have Mikey, the ever fun-loving party dude. Here's a nice turnaround for him as well. His expression is a little softer in emotion, especially in the brow, and he has a bit of a grin, but nothing that deters from the overall grittiness of the original comic book aesthetic. Here again is a nice look at the shell. Here are his nunchucks. They are fairly plain as to be expected, but they are connected at the chain, which is a great touch and adds functionality as a weapon, especially when trying to pose him. As this is a retrospective look at the original designs of the turtles, it's fitting I stack them up next to the new 2014 movie versions. I'll forego going in depth, but here's a quick comparison. Here's Leo adorned in a slightly more traditional garb than his brothers. Here's Don all geared up and teched out in an almost Black Ops outfit. Here's Raph, seeming the most traditional, going with a no-nonsense barrage of bandage wraps and loincloth. And here's Mikey, all laid back with puka shell necklaces and a surfer wetsuit pants, and even modified sneakers going over his two-toed feet. I'm sure the opinions will be polarized, but curious to see how people feel about the new and old contrasting up against each other. Here's another quick look at the turtles posed together. They are a little harder to find on the market these days, but if you can find them at a decent price, I do recommend them, especially for a die-hard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Thank you for watching, please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.